Hey guys, what's up? JP here. We're going to be taking a look at another Heroes of the Storm character. This time around, it is the melee assassin Zeratul. Zeratul is basically that hero that everyone kind of hates right now in Heroes. Hates playing against, loves playing as. And you'll pretty much typically always find him in a game. Not only is he free this week, but I think a lot of people are going to be purchasing him just because of how good he is. So the first thing you should know about Zeratul is he is a Dark Templar, which means that he is permanently invisible. It takes 2 seconds to go into invisible mode, so you can't attack for 2 seconds, and you can't be attacked. You can also see a slight shimmer on, it's kind of like StarCraft 2 cloak, where you can see the cloak, and if you have an AoE spell or some sort of spell that you can cast on a certain area, it'll actually pop Zeratul out of stealth, and it's probably one of the most effective ways to kill him is to catch him off guard like that. I'm going to be soloing mid here on the Dragon Knight map. Unfortunately, this is the same map that we had the Witch Doctor footage of, but what are you going to do? So I'm already getting a fight here with Arthas. Arthas is quite a tanky hero. I am not tanky at all. I'm focused purely on damage, and let's go through his skills here. Zeratul's Q allows you to do a cleave attack, which does a 360-degree attack around you. It does a pretty good amount of damage. Right there, I just used his W, which is a little bit, I think it's called a disruption satchel, disruption grenade, something like that. What it does is it shoots a projectile out, and it takes about a second or two to explode on the target. It's also a skill shot. When it does hit the target, it does a pretty good amount of damage, and it also slows them. And then, of course, I have my E ability, which is a blink, which is what I use primarily for escaping, but it's also good for just catching up. I mean, it has several uses. So, as you can see here, I'm basically keeping this this Arthas at range while still hitting him with my cleave and using my W to tick him down. And it worked pretty effectively. I think Zeratul's strongest thing really lies in coupling invisibility with a blink. Like, having a blink on a hero like that, having a blink really on any hero in a MOBA always makes that hero very valuable to players. And adding a blink onto a heavy damage hero like Zeratul, whose ultimate ability is just outrageous. We're going to check that out a little bit later on in the match. But he's a really strong hero, no doubt. I don't think he will need to be nerfed or anything like that. I go for the kill here, get my W on him, and then finish it up with a auto attack. I'm going to take basic attacks heal your hero here. I haven't messed around with the singularity spike. That is what his W is called. Thanks a lot, game. Too much. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to steal life when you attack targets, right? That just seems great for staying in a lane for as long as possible. I don't have to go back to any moon wheels or anything like that. So we hold both dragon keeps. I'm going to go ahead and get the dragon here. You guys can actually see what these abilities are for once. His W, as you can see, charges. And since he was behind that, it didn't actually connect. But if it does connect, he'll go flying back. His Q is a fire wave that does a ton of damage. And the Dragon Knight's really good at pushing. I mean, you can see how much damage I do to this tower right here. You can see the timer also at the top center of the screen. You only have a minute to play with them, as well as if you die in the Dragon Knight, you get spawned back as your hero. Here's the W, though, and it's a great mechanic. If you actually are on the receiving end of that, your character flies up towards the screen and you get launched back pretty far away. You typically want to do that to I do it to mostly tank heroes. I could see a lot of situations where you'd want to do it to some DPS heroes. But it's really just a huge annoyance for anyone that does get pushed back like that. I have 5 seconds. I went ahead and decided to leave. I'm going to take Assassin's Blade here, which when I come out of stealth, I have increased damage as well as increased speed here. And we're going to go on... Probably not the best idea to go on this guy because he can get shielded. Okay. Biscuit Eater decided to shield himself there, so that allowed me to secure the kill on Arthas, which probably shouldn't have happened. I think the Terrible's name is really saying a lot right now in this match, but, you know, when you're solo queuing in Heroes of the Storm or any MOBA, you never know what opponents or teammates you're going to get. Getting Merc camps on this map is obviously pretty strong. I have a pretty easy time soloing the 2 Ogre camps. These camps, you definitely need to tank. You want to focus the hero back in the back because he does shield his teammates, or sorry, his friendlies. Arthas is going to get out of here, or he should be getting out of here. Hopefully he doesn't die. and I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. One of the fun things that I think about Zeratul is once you unlock his ult, and we'll get to that in just a second. You guys can actually see it. He has two ults. His first one is it's an ultimate that allows you to constantly be on top of your opponent, as well as constantly hit them, and also lifesteal. It's pretty strong, and you just constantly like rush towards your opponent. You can use it against, I use it against mostly low HP support targets, like the Witch Doctor, or trying to think of some other low hit points, but I'm only thinking of Uther right now. He's also really, really good to knock out other DPS, people like Nova, people like other Zeratuls. You can really just wreck them quite quickly. But instead, I'm deciding to mess with... No, I'm actually going to go bottom here to Biscuit Eater. So you see the shimmer right there. It was only slight, but I'm going to take Shadow Assault. You're actually going to see the ult here at work. You can see how my character just constantly rushes towards them. It is one of the most annoying ultimates to deal with because I don't know how to stop it. I don't think you can be CC'd at all. And let's say that you want to play a more support style Zeratul. His other ultimate is I think it's called Time Warp. I'm not 100% sure of the name, but it creates a small bubble where everything in this bubble is frozen. If you've played Dota before and you've played as Faceless Void, it is the chronosphere of heroes to bring that kind of all around the MOBA community. It's super strong. It's super good. But I prefer R because I just like... Or sorry, I prefer the Shadow Assault just because I like destroying people. I build this hero very, very damage focused. You can see here in a couple levels I'm going to get another ability called Giant Killer, which actually does percentage of damage based on their max HP. And so I'm only hitting for 235 right now, but by the end of this I'll be hitting for well over 500. And it's really effective. It's kind of glass cannon-y though. If I do get focused, I'll die rather quickly, so I got to rely on my blinks for that. But I'm thinking about going in on these guys, and now I see that my teammates have gotten in there enough. My R is not up, but I can kill the Shadow Demon very quickly using that blink ability. There's Giant Killer, empowering my basic attacks. I choose it rather quickly. That was Tassadar's E ability. It allows him to go invisible. You can't target him, you can't hit him or anything. Can't even knock him out of it. It's a way to get away, but he's not getting away. He's not getting away at all. I don't think, at least. Maybe he does. Tassadars are really hard to kill hero. Oh, but my ultimate came up and I could just constantly be on him. And that guy didn't rage quit, but his teammate did. That's what happens in MOBA games, apparently. You die a couple times, you get frustrated, and you get... Like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore. Go back and looking for that Moonwell. That one was further back in there. So some of the other options that I'm going to be getting here in a second on his trait table are the Berserk ability, which gives you 50% attack speed for, I think, 8 seconds. I usually shy away from that and go for another one, which we'll take a look at here in a sec. He does have a lot of ways to play him, I found. This might have been a bad idea. Just kidding, I can blink away. Oh, does my friend save me? Oh, that's sick Time Warp. You could also shield me. I can, like, I love being able to blink over stuff like this and get back right into the fight. It really makes for an extremely fun and extremely versatile style of play. Being able to blink like that. You can do some cool stuff. We've got our team on the run here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, so I'm going to port back because I'm rather low on HP. Porting back in this game is really only a last... Like, if you can't do anything else, there's no Moonwells around, you can't get into a lane, there's enemies all around you, that's when you port back. But it takes so long that most of the time, if you're running from someone, you can jump in a bush, mount up, and get away. And if chances are they're not going to be mounted, because most people don't think about that yet. And it's one of the most effective ways to really get around in the map. So we've got some shrines left here. Need to, of course, control both of them. This is the AI Arthas, so I'm not going to proud myself on this kill, but I went ahead and ult him anyways. Executioner, I think, is what I go with here. It deals extra damage to disabled targets. Disabled targets does mean slow. So you'll see here, with that guy slowed, I did 400 a hit. We missed the hook because he can't get him, but it doesn't matter because I can Q anyways. No, I let him go. Okay. Well, I noobed that. Well, I actually went with Berserk there. Okay. Well, I did go with Berserk. This was one of my earlier games. This is my second game with Zeratul. And future games, I'm pretty sure I always chose Executioner. You can stack the Ultimate and Berserk for a 75% attack speed increase, which you'll see here in just a little bit, actually, on the throne. But right now, it feels like we're just kind of fighting mindless AI, which we are. In other words, people that are just getting destroyed in this match. I'm staying a little bit on the outskirts. I don't want to dive in. That's one of the hardest decisions to make. I feel as Zeratul is, do I want to dive in and most likely get a kill, or do I just kind of want to stay back and pick off the weak targets?
A hero has left the battle.
We had another hero leave. This really was just a massacre. My teammates overstaying the welcome. I want to get back and find that Moonwell, so we're going to do just that. Not sure who just died. I think it was Arthas, perhaps. Me and Stitches know what's going on, so we're going to go ahead and get this solo camp. Let it do some pushing for us. Remember, you always got to focus that creep in the back. Yes, Gorgonzola. They are rage quitting. You can see their XP earned. XP earned is a stat that a lot of people put a lot of weight in. While I do think it is important, I do believe that doing the objectives in the map and not sitting in a lane while your team does the objectives is the best way to do that. I'm in kind of a tough spot here, but I am invisible, so I can just solo this guy super quick. I might actually pull out the hat trick here. Is it really a hat trick though? I mean, it's a 1v3 with 2 AI. I mean, I guess. It's also not a hat trick if your opponent, or sorry, if your teammate comes in. Hit that W though, and then of course the Witch Doctor's amazing W comes in. Zombie Wall, one of the best spells in the game in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure we actually just end the game here. But I think Zeratul's definitely one of the best melee assassins. I have not played too much Illidan yet. Illidan's ult is extremely good. We'll take a look at him in a future hero highlight, but for my taste, Zeratul is kind of my go-to melee hero at this point in time. A lot of people have a lot of issue with him and think that he is incredibly strong. He is incredibly strong, but if you can CC him in any way, shape, or form, whether that's a stun, I also like using this little body block there with the blink. Super nice, super cute. With a stun or really a slow, any way to stop him, he'll fall rather quickly, and then he'll really just have to rely on his E. The hard part is when he ultimates on someone and then just this relentless attack. It's one of the harder things to deal with. I think I end up in this game like 18-0 or something. It was really just a stomp. I popped my ult here and also the Berserk. You can see how fast the attack goes if you pay attention to the attacks right now. They're probably about 3/4 of a second in between, maybe a little bit shorter. But here's the R as well as the 1. The attack goes pretty quick. I mean, it's down to like maybe 0.3, 0.2 of a second. It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Altogether, though. What? Altogether? No, not altogether. In the end, that's a better way to say that, JP. Good job. I really like Zeratul. I think a lot of people are going to have issues with them. But once they learn to deal with them, once they learn to stun, it's going to be pretty easy to deal with the Protoss badass himself. These are some of the quests that you can do in the game, but I do want to show the scoreboard, and then we'll call this an episode. Let me know, guys, once again, if you want to see certain heroes. Let me know in the chat. Also, give me your thoughts on the heroes in general. I'd love to know what other people are thinking. I love discussing this stuff, so let me know. My name's JP McDaniel. This has been a look at Zeratul for Heroes of the Storm. Going 18-0 because why not, right? Why not? We'll see you next time, guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.